In Nigeria, 20 million children are not in school, according to UNESCO. Nigeria has the second highest number of children who are not in school.
My parents don't have money to send me to school. That is why we go out to look for money. We give our parents any money we get. It's from the money we give to them they will use to cook food for us.
In 1999, the federal government of Nigeria introduced the State Universal Basic Education Program (SUBEB) as a catalyst to achieving free, compulsory and universal 9-year education for all school-age children irrespective of their socio-economic circumstance. The Child Rights Act also reinforces education as a basic human right. Efforts are being made by the government to curb the increasing numbers. According to the permanent board member Lagos State Universal Basic Education Board, the Project Zero is designed to create accessibility to basic education in the state.
There are out-of-school children too in Lagos State. We're not denying it. However, we are making all effort to ensure that we don't have this menace at all. So presently, Lagos State has a project called Project Zero. Project Zero is a multifaceted project that is designed to tackle the menace of out-of-school children in Lagos State. Project Zero is targeted at children who are at the verge of dropping out of school or who are already completely out of school, and is supporting those children to come back to school.
Despite government investment in education and in school feeding programs, the number of out-of-school children in Nigeria continues to rise.
I am 17 years. I go to Quranic school because my parents did not send me to school. If I'm opportune, I want to go to school to learn how to read and write.
The efforts to reduce the number of out-of-school children in Nigeria is hindered by many factors, including the lack of conducive learning environment and infrastructure in schools. Shortage of public schools is another factor, as the distance of schools is often discouraging for many children who have to make the most unimaginable and dangerous journeys every day to access education. This makes it easier for them to quit school.
One of the things that has to be in place is adequate infrastructure. Beyond that is the availability of teachers. There's something, we generally talk about the student-teacher ratio. There has to be, presently in Lagos State, we're doing one teacher to an average of 50 pupils. So we must have that ratio. If you have 80, 100, 150 in a class, you will displace the already existing student. So we are bringing in out of school children in relation to the available infrastructure and the student-teacher ratio.
In northern Nigeria, the abduction of school children and insecurity ravaging communities forces families to leave their homes and schools to close down. According to Human Rights Watch, between 2009 and 2015, these attacks caused the destruction of 910 schools and the closure of 1,500 schools. Cultural practices like early marriage of the girl child add to the situation. UNESCO reports that in 2018 and 2019, 1 in 5 adolescents were not in school due to marriage and pregnancy. We paid a visit to St. Agnes Nursery and Primary School in Maryland and spoke with the head teacher, who emphasized on the need to curb the growing numbers, stating that it could worsen crime rates, poverty and insecurity in the country.
Yes, it will help Nigeria if a lot of children are in school. It will stop all these Agbero boys. It will remove Agbero boys from the road. It will remove touts from the road. So automatically, when all these children are educated, you find out that they will think higher than any other thing they want to do. But if they are not educated, it becomes a problem for them.
With millions of children deprived of education, Nigeria's economic growth and overall development are at stake. The head teacher St. Agnes Nursery and Primary School, Maryland, describes education as a fundamental right that must be safeguarded for every Nigerian child.
Education is a right. It's a right a child must have, because that is the only legacy for the child. Without education, the child goes nowhere. Now you can see that computer literate everywhere. Everything is going computerly, and automatically our children today, they are just there without anything. So education is a right for that child, and that child must have education whether the child likes it or not, in order for the child to fit in every society the child belongs to.
The lack of education does not only deprive these children of opportunities, but it sustains the circle of poverty. According to the United Nations, areas with high rate of out-of-school children often experience a surge in crime and social unrest. It is a circle where lack of education breeds desperation, and desperation breeds crime. Education is not just about textbooks and classrooms. It is about empowering individuals, breaking barriers, and building a brighter future for generations to come. Eloho Johnson reporting for Arise News, Lagos.